Welcome back. It's a beautiful day today. What is it, like 14 degrees?
I think it's high of 14 today, or 15.
It was 12 yesterday, so pretty wild for March. Currently, I am having the war. Oh, I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. The war on dog poo. That's what I'm doing right now. And John is boiling sap as usual, right?
Yep. Collecting wood, splitting wood, boiling sap, collecting sap. Never really ends.
Well, it will end soon.
Yeah.
The trees are kind of getting to that point that this could be their little last hurrah with that. But we've got a lot of yard work to do. We had a crazy windstorm. What was that, like almost 2 weeks ago? A week and a half ago?
Yeah, week and a half ago or so.
Lost our power for 24 hours, I think. About 24 hours.
Yeah.
And our generator died. It was 20 below that night.
Decided to drop that night real fast.
Yeah.
It was high of 11 that day, and then it just went down fast.
Yeah, so our water froze, so we didn't get our water back for like a couple days pretty much. And so the joys of that. And as soon as that finished, it just became beautiful again. So here we are doing some much needed yard work. Yeah, you look like you're left out in the storm too. Look at all your feathers everywhere. So our dogs have endless amounts of forest they could just go to the bathroom in. Tend to go right around the building, sometimes even in the walkway, in the driveway, right off the front porch. So as soon as all the snow melts, it kind of reveals itself, and then it's crunch time to clean that up. Yesterday I picked up a bunch of sticks from the windstorm and we burned a lot of them. I do own a backpack blower, which I will use, but first I decided to clean up the bulk of the sticks. You enjoying the sunshine, buddy? I know. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, old man.
Another beautiful morning out here collecting sap. It looks like it went pretty crazy last night. Every pail is pretty much overflowing onto the ground now, so looks like it went all night too. So I know they're getting full last evening when I looked at them, so who knows how much we lost. Morning, guys. How are you this morning, Teddy? Yeah? Did you sleep good? He's molting, so he's not looking that good right now.
We have another batch going down here on the propane side burner, the barbecue. This is how we finish our syrup once it can fit into a stock pot, basically. We bring it down here to the house because this is a more controlled burn. I can constantly check its status, like how much bricks, which is the sugar content. I can check that. I've got the bottles sterilizing, and everything happens right here in the house. So this is the best place to finish it. Another batch bottled today. This was just a small batch because a lot of the sap the other day was frozen. So this is a batch from the only stuff that we could run through the RO, but got 3 liters. It's so beautiful out today, though. I think it's going up to 14 degrees Celsius. Yesterday was 12, and it was below zero overnight. 2 nights ago, I think it went down to -7, but I'm not sure what the temperature was last night because all of our trees were still flowing, and all our pails this morning were overflowed. So it's pretty wild to see the ice opening. This is a huge crack here, and when the wind blows, all the ice in this bay actually shifts. And then this is part of the main lake. And I mean, I don't remember seeing it like this early before. Maybe it has happened in my life, but I don't really remember. Usually this time of year, we're still snowmobiling, ice fishing, skating. There's usually still snow.
Oh, exciting stuff.
We thought we'd be emptying pails twice today because we did it this morning and it was flowing like crazy, but they seem to have slowed down. It might actually be so warm that they slowed down for the rest of today, so it's way too nice out to not go for a dog walk. So we're taking our dog Milo out. He's a bit of a Velcro dog. This is a snowmobile trail in the winter, so it's groomed, so I should have known that this would still all be packed down like this. But it's so warm today that's kind of soft. It's not totally slippery. Pretty thick base though, what's left of it.
Went up by a little creek.
We're also just swapping out a game camera too, because this is all Crown land back here and we do our hunting back here in the fall. Crown land in Ontario is land owned by our provincial government and it's basically public use. So there's a variety of different things that you can do on it. Hunting is one of them. You just have to make sure that you are in fact on Crown land and not someone's private property. Otherwise, obviously, you'd have to have permission to hunt private property. It makes up something like more than 3/4 of our province is Crown land. So it's pretty great, but we just like to keep our game cameras up year round because it's just really cool too in the off season to see what kind of footage you get. We've seen all kinds of things, so it's just fun to keep them up, and they're cellular, so we get the images sent right to our phone anyway. I guess I shouldn't have said swapped out. I meant put new batteries, swap batteries. Well, they lasted a long time, but they use a stupid amount of batteries though. But
the solar ones.
No, because I haven't heard any good reviews about the solar ones. So here we are, batteries.
Good for another year.
Look at the size of this white pine. This is in the middle of nowhere in the woods, so the biggest ones are just hidden where you'd never find them.
Oh, a very well used deer trail coming through here.
That means our deer are still alive that we didn't get this year.
Yep. Growing bigger and better for next year. Our snowbird deer.
We need to get you a different collar, dude. It's just like still in Christmas mode. Alright, well here we are in our little cabin kitchen, and our neighbors hit a deer accidentally, obviously, yesterday, and unfortunately rode off their vehicle, likely. But he thought of us and offered for us to come get it. Luckily we were at home working on our maple syrup yesterday and we weren't at work, so we went and got it, and we're just trying to salvage what we can of it. We already got 2 deer hunting this season, and we were lucky enough to do that. We got a buck and a doe, and this was the doe, unfortunately, that was hit. Free meat is free meat. Also, my tower garden is conveniently running through one of its cycles right now, so that's what all the water trickling noise is. We had to quickly butcher it and, well, not butcher it, break it down and put it on ice yesterday because we were doing maple syrup all day. Finally, making sure nothing gets lost out of the cooler.
Luckily, after they hit the deer, but there was no injuries to the lots of injuries to the vehicle, no injuries to the people.
Yes, that is good news. No injuries to the driver, so that's good.
Do you need to help? Am I doing it right? Does it smell okay?
No, you're not doing it right. You're putting too much in the keep bin and not enough in the discard bin.
Don't tell Mom.
So we have a very tiny kitchen, but this is where we process everything. Fish, game, whatever. And we just have like a big cutting board. And then we have 2 of those big Cabela's totes. Well, they're just totes for meat, but we got them at Cabela's.
Nice knife kit. Old
timer.
Knife.
Old timer. That's why I got it for you.
Yep. Thanks.
Getting there.
Just a little gray.
So this bin will be where we put basically all the meat that'll just get run through the grinder for ground venison. This is just a discard bowl for stuff that isn't salvageable, which the dogs are keeping a close eye on, but they can't have all of this. I'll probably take a lot of this out to our chickens. So this is one of the back legs now, and so far not too much scrap, actually. A little bit of bruising. What do you want? Huh? You want snack? What on earth? These dogs eat raw as it is, so this is really not a lot different than what they already have. Look at this guy over here. This is Fennel. He's our 7.5-year-old English Mastiff. And you'll see him in quite a few videos, but he can't really go on like big walks anymore. He's got pretty bad back legs and arthritis. But he's our baby. Aren't you? And you love venison. This is our newest dog. His name's Nilo, and he's a rescue. He's called a galgo. It's a Spanish greyhound. And we just got him back at the end of October. And they think that he's 4. He's going to be 5 on April 1st. This dog just likes food. His favorite thing is food. Food and attention, right? And maybe destroying things sometimes.
The dark is a clotted blood from bruising where it got hit, so I just, as I'm going through, I try to clean most of this out so you don't get any of that in your meat. I guess I've never really tried it, but I was told it gives a really like chalky bad taste.
I can't say I've really eaten much roadkill before.
Roadkill Cafe.
Welcome to the Roadkill Cafe today. No, this is actually really good stuff. Like, the deer had just passed away. We got there within 30 minutes, I think. So it's not like we found a deer that had been laying in the ditch for who knows how long. Alright, so these are all your steaks from your backstrap. Part of the one backstrap was bruised though. 2 tenderloins. This is scrap and stuff that we're probably going to turn into dog food actually. This bin is stuff for ground, and there's stew cubes too. You can either grind these or use them as stew cubes if you like stew cubes. We do. We use them for like a... That was my goose. And in here you got 2 decent sized roasts actually, and bones, which we'll probably let the dogs play with for a bit. And then this is also parts that you can turn into ground, or you can cut it up as like steak. Some people use them as steaks. We'll probably grind them. Just getting the grinder hooked up. This thing is an absolute beast. To watch John just lift it off of the shelf was it looked like a feat for sure. So the venison meat that we've been cutting is like, it's room temperature. It's not cold. So ideally meat is ground when it's colder. So this is it's like an attachment that you put on, and it came out of the freezer, but it helps kind of cool the meat down as it comes through. So this is the first grind that we're putting it through too, and it's like a bigger grind, and then you'll run it through a second time on a finer blade, and that'll come through as your final grind. Yeah, we should have had the sausage making on video back in the fall, but we hadn't started a YouTube channel yet. But it was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it was us rushing and arguing, and yeah,
yeah, a little
more stress than we needed to make a sausage.
Couple, yeah, a little bit of stress, a little bit of arguing maybe, but we have been together for a decade, so it's pretty daily basis activity. This is our Cabela's Carnivore, it's called. It's a commercial grade 1 horsepower. There is a larger one, what is it, 2 horsepower? But that was really expensive. So we got the 1 horsepower, and we got it on Black Friday on sale. So it was well worth it. I definitely say processing as many animals a year as we do, it's well worth the money. I'd say it's worth the money for anybody really, but I mean, any old grinder works too. John used to live out in Alberta, and he said that he processed 3 deer a year with a hand grinder. So I feel pretty sorry for him, but those days are done, I guess, as we got this beast now. Alright, so we've changed it now to the finer grind, and we basically run everything through it again, and that'll be your final grind. And that just gets it more fine and looking more like the same kind of ground beef or whatever that you'd see at the grocery store. I don't know why I never thought of this, but it sticks to the chimney.
Modifying to make that work, and it should fit just perfectly in that orientation. We have a Toyo stove.
Watching Simple Living Alaska right now. If you're not, what are you doing with your life? We're getting real classy tonight. We're doing this in the shower stall because it just ensures that we keep everything out of it, like dog hair, stuff from outside. Alright, another 5 liters bottled just now, and we've got another batch on the evaporator, and then we gotta go empty some pails right now. Well, it was beautiful out today, but now it's pouring rain, so we still have to go empty our pails, and this is the steel that is supposed to be our roof one day, so in the meantime
Giving it a trial run.
It's doing its job. Also just trying to get some firewood. It's really warm here, so this kind of dries it out too, because like we said in one of our previous videos, we didn't have any wood ready for this year. We were very unprepared. Unfortunately, it's pouring rain, but if we collect all our pails today, then in the morning we don't have to do it, and we basically start running the RO system right away in the morning, and that way we can just get boiling again. So they were running pretty good though.
Need some sap in there first.
Pretty much we start at the very end of our property, and then we make our way back towards our house. So this is kind of neat. You can see multiple old holes on this tree. So I can't really remember how many years ago each one was, but this is one. And you can see that it kind of cracked a little bit. So what that means is it might have gotten really cold while the trees were still tapped, or before it had a chance to seal, we might have had a really cold night and it caused a bit of a frost crack. But it's not too bad. You can see that it's done a pretty good job. And then here's an even older one. And it's really done a good job at sealing as well. I'm gonna walk. John threw me off the tractor last week, and I still don't think it was an accident, so I'm gonna just heel toe express this. By throw me off too, I was standing in the bucket, and he says that a piece of rubber stuck on the throttle, and it stopped dead when it was going down the road, and it basically launched me onto the road. Any bugs? Oh, a couple. Get out of there.